everybody. In case you don't know me, my name is Linda Hogan. This is the first time we've done this format. This is an experience for not only you, but experience for us. We want to break this whole room up into 3 groups. And each group will be assigned a topic to discuss. You will have a facilitator in your round group. That facilitator is, there's 3 people that will be doing it for us today. Deborah Campbell-Knopf will be doing one session. Mike Saucer will be doing another session. Mike's right here in the front. And then Robin Weaver will be doing a session. Their job is to help move along the conversation. Make sure that everybody has the ability to say and add input to the conversation. Their job is not to lead it or give you information. They're trying to extract it from you. We have 3 topics that we want to have discussed today. Those topics will help us, the team of NCREC people, take back your ideas, analyze them, and see what we can pull out of it that we can give to USAPA to help better our programs. The 3 topics we're going to be discussing today are certified referee continuing education. What can USAPA do to incentivize good referees to get certified? And the 3rd topic is how to make the certified referee program better.
Good afternoon, everybody. You didn't know it, but you're getting both Carters today. So there you go. Round of applause. All right. And we're moving on. 18 people, adults, and I had to get a consensus. Okay, enough with that, right? What we came up with, basically, for continuing education, everybody really liked it as a newsletter form. It's something to send out, and military terms, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay? We're not going to inundate you with 16 pages, and you're going to open it up and be like, what do you do with something this thick? You don't read it. Okay? Something that's nice and easy and concise.
Wait, let me clarify one thing before Gunnar goes any further. What he's giving you is the information they've pulled together on this topic.
Right.
This goes to the NCREC committee, and we go over it, and we implement it by presenting to USAPA. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen exactly the same way. It's just a process we're going through of information gathering. He's sharing with you what they came up with.
Sorry if I didn't say that. Quarterly are as needed. Quarterly's kind of, it's enough. If some changes come out, you'll still be informed. But if something really pops right then, boom, blast it out. This is a new change effective now in case you're in like a tournament. Okay. They really like having videos done. Visual learners, you can pause it, you can go back, you can refer to it. We can have all that, on our phones, emails. Just like I said, changes, best practices, the tricks and tips, something dealing with continuing education. And the big deal, the reason, if you want to, we want to bring everybody up to kind of the same standard. All right? We want everybody to be equal across. Everybody is standing at the same spot. Everybody's kind of has the same verbiage. Everybody is knowing what's going on with the rules that got in effect 3 months ago, but you're not on Facebook. You're not on the forum. You don't know about it. I don't have it for certain reasons, so forth and so on. Well, they did it last tournament. Well, he said, she said. You kind of want to eliminate that. So the email and the newsletter was how we want to, like I said, have everybody up to the same standard. And how do we do this? Okay? If any kind of professional job, you didn't get your job and you stopped going to school. No matter what, in any profession, we were always doing some other kind of courses, no matter if you're an accountant or if you were me, like in the military. We're always continuing training for that, okay? This, we believe, is really going to help the process for us, because every 3 years, we're, so to speak, back in the hot seat. And you feel like, oh my God, I got to get recertified. I got to go through a test. I got to go through all this stuff. Those changes are coming out. okay? And as I said, we want to kind of have the anxiety relieved that it's not going to be the rigors of going through medical school and failing like we've all, experienced that first time. But this will help us with one quiz question coming out in the newsletter, the tricks and tips coming out in the newsletter, the videos, so we're all good to go, so the people that are going to be consistently going through their reevaluation every 3 years are on par and they're tracking. And that's kind of what we were talking about as far as continuing education. This is a monster. And you guys can have it all out there, do this and track this and do that. We don't have the database for that. We don't have the people for that. We're not Google and IBM. We're just kind of, right now, we're in our infancy. Maybe later that's going to happen, but this is kind of what we came up with as far as education goes.
Thank you.
1 minute, hold on. Anything from the group of 18 that I missed? You want to interject?
Good job, guys.
All right, next we're going to have Mike Saucer and I need his scribe to come up, give me the bullet points so I can get down for discussion.
I'm described.
I'm not sure how to do the bullet point thing. I mean, I've got some very specific notes.
Just so it's counter higher. Yeah, well, no, I read. Minus 27. While they're getting the bullet points, let me talk a little bit, only because I heard it in almost every one of the, 2 of the 3 groups. You got Mark. Come on. All right, I heard it in 2 of the 3 groups. So I want to try and lower the anxiety level around this recertification process. All right, the process is very focused. And you make an application, are you ready?
Yeah, she's ready.
Oh, she's ready. All right, I'll cover
All right, my name is Scribe. We had a very animated conversation over there because, as we all know, incentivizing people to become referees is a big deal. Can everybody hear me all right? Yes. This is a little high from my shorty legs, but the first thing that was, I think, the most prevalent out of the whole conversation was that USAPA needs to specify what the compensation should be for sanctioned tournaments, and so that it's consistent nationwide. For example, if you're a Tier 1 sanctioned tournament, how much should you pay your certified refs? And you should pay your certified refs. And so that there was consistency, and so that it was coming from USAPA that if you're going to be that, then you have to provide the certified refs. The other thing that came out loud and clear was that we need to increase the culture that certified refs are necessary by promoting the benefits of being a certified ref. And some of those benefits included compensation needs to be increased so it makes it easier for some of the certified refs to travel. In addition to that, possibly allowing for pre-registration options for sanctioned tournaments if you're a certified ref. So that would be a big benefit to those of us that play.
Yeah, of course.
And the third thing that came out was also an increase in culture, but this was to make players recognize the value of having certified refs. For example, more matches can be played if you have certified refs versus no refs or non-certified refs, because they move things along much more quickly. So I actually have 3 pages of really diligent notes, but these were the highlights, I think. Mike Saucer, anything else that maybe I should have touched on?
No, you did great. The big key was we were fortunate enough to have somebody that's actually on the USAPA board in our group. And one of the things that we really tried to stress is that the USAPA may not have 100% responsibility over all of these other tournaments, but if they want sanctioning, especially regionals, which qualify for nationals, then, you know, you've got to do this to get sanctioning. The USAPA board has a lot to say about everything, and we're talking about continuing education and raising the expectations for all of us as certified referees. Well, then you've got to raise the compensation, because that goes hand in hand. And one of the other things we talked about is I've done enough tournaments, both from a referee standpoint and as a referee coordinator standpoint, to understand that, you know, we're all seeing now the lottery system involved, because especially for qualifying tournaments, they're limiting the amount of players that they can get into that tournament. Well, if we can educate people to the fact that you could probably get 40% more matches in the same amount of time if you have certified referees, then all of a sudden these tournament directors are trying to make so much more money for their club or their associations, realize that, gee, I can go from 300 people playing to 500 people playing, and I can make a whole lot more money just by paying a little bit more. Well, that's got to help. That's got to come from the USAPA. Simple as that, right? Good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great job.
All right, Deborah?
I think I have.
You're Deborah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm Deborah.
Put down your bullet points in advance.
There's so many of them.
All right.
I could just be another Bob, too, I suppose. Tom Kendrick, so I was the scribe for topic C, which was how to make the certified referee program better. Not sure we all knew that was the topic, because we were all over the place, but we had some lively debate and discussion. So we covered 14 bullet points, and here's some of the things we talked about. How do we fix problems as a referee? How do we learn to explain them to the players? We need more training tools for our referees and for our candidates in the form of videos, PowerPoints, etc. Would we be okay to have our matches recorded and to be used as teaching tools in the future? We talked about the evaluation process and how maybe the automatic failure scenario is discouraging to people and maybe should be revisited. We talked about making YouTube videos showing match scenarios corresponding to rules, and so more YouTube videos out there. We need more evaluators. Revisit the point deduction system during evaluations. In tournaments, there was some griping about how referee coordinators give preferential treatment to other referees, perhaps more experience or their friends possibly. Non-certified referees refereeing medal matches, where maybe that should be given to a certified referee. We talked about the recertification program. There was some general griping from a couple of people about it, but I think the general attitude was yes, there should be a recertification program. Ref shadowing. Should we do ref shadowing? The group in general agreed with the concept. Should we have 2 referees in some matches? There was a lot of positive comments about having the possibility of 2 referees. We need to have, as certified referees, we should have more positive attitudes. Remember, it's a game. We should have a certain level of accountability. We are held to a high standard as certified referees, and we should be. Should we be able to have a chair? Everyone said yes, depending on the tightness of the court. Thank you.
Okay, I believe Mark wanted to make some comments.
So what's going to happen?
Mike. Mark, Mike.
I'm trained. All right. So what's going to happen from here? So I'm taking some notes. I'll take a picture of this, and then we'll take this, and if we need, we know who the key people are. We can call Robin, or we can call, Deborah, if we have some follow-up questions or comments. But we'll take it within the NCREC, and I'll tell you, there's a couple of nuggets here right off the bat that I think has some real value. I'm not going to highlight it for you, but I was very interested in a couple things. One, the level of engagement that you had in those groups. That was really high level of engagement. I think I saw everybody contributing at some point in their respective groups. I want to give special thanks to Mike, Robin, and Deborah for trying to corral all you guys and gals. You guys are well known. So we'll take this information, we'll talk about it, and you ought to expect that something comes out of this. All right? It doesn't do any good to talk about stuff if nothing ever comes out of it. So not only will something come out of it, but you'll hear from me in some kind of communication. This idea came from this session, and here's what we intend to do with it. Okay?